Hello, today we have an interview with American Christian young earth creationist and tax protester.
Good morning, Kent Hovind here.
Hello, Kent. It's good of you to join me. It's good to see you free. So, what do you want to talk about today?
I'm sure you could really help people who follow evolutionism to click out of their wrong mindset.
What? Why would I do that when evolution is a well-established theory, supported by the majority of scientists? Very few people are intellectually challenged enough to ignore 160 years of scientific discovery. Are you a little bit special, Kent?
We've got two eyes on our head, okay? So does the monkey. Yeah? That proves we're related. No, that proves the same guy designed us all.
No, it proves two eyes are useful. It's our DNA that suggests a common ancestor. What else you got?
See, I made a decision years ago. I'm going to believe the Bible until it's proven wrong.
Okay, so with the overwhelming amount of scientific evidence that the Bible is wrong, why do you still believe?
But I have forgotten more things than I can remember.
Okay, so why set up a ministry if you've forgotten so much? What have you got to teach people?
People who want to donate money to the ministry, go to Ernie Land, L-A-N-D. He'll be here in about a half hour, actually. I met with him yesterday. Ernie Land lives over in Westville, Florida, which is the middle of no place. You can't get there from anywhere. You have to start there to work your way out. But his address is 1798 Melson, M-E-L-S-O-N, Lane, Melson Lane, Westville, Florida, 32464. Or you can email him, docfog@docfog.com. As far as tithing, the tithing is Old Testament for the Jews to tithe for the furtherance of the priest and the temple. I do believe in tithing today. I don't think it's necessarily mandatory, but I think it's God's pattern, and what he wants, 10% of your increase, is to go to support the work of the Lord. I don't know of anybody who tithes to our ministry, so you would be the first, and I do think we certainly have a church ministry like anybody else involved in evangelism, winning souls does. So I'll leave that totally up to you. You pray about it, do what God says, but if you have any, as far as remaining anonymous, I don't have a clue about that either. Ernie might know. Ask Ernie. I know you can get a postal money order and put no name on it and send it. So that would be...
I see. Send you the monies. So what would you say to your critics who believe you're just in it for the money and have no real faith in God?
There's a war going on. If I took time to stopped and took time to answer all the critics I get, who would lead the country to win this war?
What? War? Where?
I'll see you Judgment Day, and we'll see what God says about that.
Whoa, steady on there. Let's change the subject. How about a bit of science? What's your view on the 3 exoplanets discovered around Wolf 1061?
To see a planet orbiting a star 14 light years away, right away I'm going to say, I doubt this on its face. We are in the solar system, and you can barely see Pluto, and it is 5 light hours away. 5 hours. At the speed of light, it would take 5 hours to get to Pluto. And you can't see it without a really, really good telescope. Okay. To say they can see a planet 14 light years away, I would say is insane. They're dreaming.
But we have really, really good telescopes, some of which are multiple kilometre size arrays. You should maybe learn a little bit of science. Some of the things we know are absolutely fucking amazing.
It's still the same problem. 14 light years, it's 14 years times 24 hours in a day times 365.2422 days in a year, if you figure leap year plus the century mark. Who cares? That's a rabbit. But and divide that by 5. That takes 5 hours to get to Pluto.
14 times 24 times 365.2422. Divide it by 5. 24,544.27584. Oh my god. The square root is 156.666. And if you add 510, it's 666.666. Shit, it's a fucking rabbit hole. Anyway, back to exoplanets. What about Wolf 1061c? Could have liquid water.
You're saying there's a star with 3 planets, 14 light years away, and one of them might be in the right zone that it might have water on it. Okay, I would say the Sahara Desert is in the right spot. It's on planet Earth in the Goldilocks zone, 1 astronomical unit from the sun. It is in the right equatorial region, close enough to the equator, and it doesn't have water in it. Right here, we can see spots here that don't have water in it.
What's this then? Looks a bit like water to me. I suppose it could be a mirage.
If there's water, that still doesn't mean there's life. So if you're desperate to prove evolution, which it looks like somebody is here, I wouldn't put my money on that one. Okay.
No, I'm not desperate to prove anything. But if you're telling me you have evidence none of these have evolved, then mirages are fucking incredible. Seriously, life can inhabit the Sahara or hydrothermal vents. Why not other planets?
That means that abiogenesis would have happened not once but twice. No, abiogenesis didn't happen once, let alone twice. Abiogenesis, the origin of life from non-living material, it didn't happen even once. It didn't happen here, and it ain't going to happen there, that star. You can believe that if you want, but it's not science. It's religion. It's fairy tale stuff.
Come on, Kent. Could I quote from a fairy tale that talks about abiogenesis? Genesis 2, verse 7. And the Lord formed man from the dust of the ground. Then he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So, yes, Kent, it seems you don't even know what you believe. Are you really fit to be telling others how to act when you haven't read your own magic book?
If you want to believe that, you believe whatever you want to believe, and you will. But claiming you can see planets around a star, and claiming it might have life, it might have water, which means it might have life, which means it might make the Bible wrong. If you are that desperate to not believe this book, enjoy yourself.
Trust me, Kent, it doesn't take extraterrestrial life for me not to believe in God. But I know it makes you a lot of money, millions of dollars a year. But if you really believe, I'll just point out, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, Kent.
I'll see you Judgment Day, and we'll see what God says about that.
Thank you, Kent Hovind. It's been a pleasure having you. Like it if you liked it. It really helps. And hit that subscribe button.